Alright, so we just got to Home Depot. We're gonna run inside, get some materials so we can do a couple things today. Today we're gonna work on the flooring. I want to get all the floor installed so I have a nice clean good surface for the rest of the project. And then I'm gonna work on boxing out the wheel wells. It will make things so much simpler if the wheel wells are square rather than the funky shape that they are. So we're gonna run in, get the materials we need to start working on that today. Let me show you what I'm going to be working on right now. The goal right now is to get the wheel wells boxed in. Right, the wheel wells are one of those areas that's got all kinds of curves and funky shapes, and they kind of get in the way. You lose storage space from the wheel wells. They're really a pain to deal with. So the simplest thing you can do is box them in. Makes them a lot easier to work around for like flooring. It makes them easier to work around when you start doing your shiplap siding on the walls. Everything is so much easier because you don't have to deal with all the curved cuts. So because these are identical wheel wells, I'm just going to use this piece to trace out my next one, and then I'm just going to copy everything as I go since they're the same size. Alright, so now I got 3 of the 4 pieces of plywood cut, and I made these little corner braces out of little 1x1s here. So I'm going to start assembling them. Once I have the 3 sides assembled, it'll be much easier to measure the top piece to kind of cap things off. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting these together. So now I got 3 sides built. I'm just gonna measure the cap that goes on top, and then it'll be ready to fit over the wheel wells. Alright, so I got the 2 boxes at the wheel wells all finished. As you can probably see, it's gotten dark on me and it's cold. So I'll just show you real quick the finished product. So you can see there's 2 square boxes on each side. And you can see how it's going to be so much easier to run my flooring up to it and have it just be square instead of curved. To do all my siding is just going to butt up to it. So it's going to have square corners. And it's going to be so much easier to cut all around it with the shiplap and the flooring. So I think it's time well spent. I think it's going to save me a lot of headache later on as I start working on other things. It's about 6 o'clock, and that probably took me an hour and a half to build those 2 boxes, and I think they turned out pretty good, so pretty pleased with them. And I'm gonna go on to the next task. What I'm working on tonight is I'm gonna start doing some flooring. I bought the little peel and stick square vinyl flooring pieces, and I'm gonna get this whole existing subfloor all cleaned up and vacuum it. I'm going to use some cleaner on it so that there's nothing left like greases or oils or anything that's going to make it so that the peel and stick flooring doesn't stick. So I'm going to work on doing the prep work for that now, and then I'm going to start installing the flooring, and we'll see how it goes. So I only got Just a little bit left, maybe like 3 more feet. You can see it's going down pretty nice. And then like this looks cool because these boxes go over the wheel wells and cover the wheel wells, and it looks real nice and clean on the edges that way. So we got on both sides, so it's looking good. Just a little tip that makes it easier to cut these is use your pencil, make your lines where you want them, and then use a heat gun to heat up along the lines. What happens is if these are kind of cool, like cold temperature, if they've been sitting outside in the garage or something, what happens is if you don't use the heat gun and you cut this with your scissors, they'll chip along the lines. But if you warm it up with your heat gun first right along the line, then when you go to cut it, it's soft and kind of almost gooey, and it won't chip, and you'll get a much cleaner, smoother, better cut out of it. So that's what I'm going to do on this one, and that's what I've been doing on everything that has any kind of cut. It doesn't take very long. You only have to heat it for a little bit. I just kind of move up and down on the line that I'm going to cut, warm it up, and after about 15-20 seconds of doing this, it cuts real nice. Now you've got a nice cut and it's ready to stick down. On next week's episode, we start framing and trimming out the windows. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you can be notified when the next episode drops. See you next time.